Blow my nose real quick.
Quiet for talking because upstairs and my baby are sleepy because we had a long day. So you guys have to be a little more quiet.
All right, well, let me just finish the podcast and then I'll be quiet. Love you. Hello, my little housewife lovers, and hello, Easton.
Hey.
Welcome.
I'm a little housewife lover.
We are still recording from the house, you guys, because the studio
If you
is...
can't tell.
Yeah. Chaos upon chaos. Right before we started, the yard guy walked by, gave us a little wave. Gigi had something removed on her arm.
She's a
Bloody
bloody
mess.
mess. Stay up there, you freak.
But you know what? At least we have an epic caregiver for Sosa. She will be the only one not making noise today. I said hello, my little housewife lovers, because we have completed the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunions. All 3 have come out. We'll save our thoughts, but also our Sweet-Lebrity 16 is coming to an end.
That it is.
We have the winners of our, what is it, Final 4?
Yeah, the Final 4. And
then our overalls.
Yeah.
Overalls.
Our national championship game.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Is the madness of March like the actual over now?
Yes.
How long?
Has it been over?
Yeah.
A week? 2 weeks.
Who won? Who won the whole thing?
Houston? Florida. They
Wow.
played Houston. Florida,
And Florida won?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was more interested in ours.
was more-
16.
I know. So let's pop off on that first, and then we'll deep dive into the last 2 episodes of the reunions for
Okay.
BH. Okay, so we had Erika Jayne versus
This is
Dolores
yours.
Catania. This is mine. It's my number 3 spot versus my number 4. Erika puts everything out there for the world to see. It gets harder every week, but Erika always stands on business. I agree, 10 toes down. But so does Dolores, the Godfather. Erika Jayne, she's had the most growth in the franchise. Erika, because she has changed for the better. Erika, because she is unapologetically herself. Dolores, because she is real, loyal, but also relatable. I can stand on that. Dolores is a straight shooter, tough at times, but very caring. I love Dolores because she's so chill, but then when she's accused of something that...
Then the mob boss comes out.
Oh, she'll call you a see you next Tuesday.
And I'm right there to cheer her on for a second time.
We all are. Say it again. Dolores because she's the first housewife to win Traitors. Dolores because she's the glue of Jersey. Dolores because she's about family and friends value. I agree, and I think that's why I kind of relate to her a lot. Because
Dolores?
she is, yeah, and she's all about like not only just the blood family, but like her chosen family that she rides hard for. And I just have mad respect for her because Frank, her ex-husband and father of her 2 children, like really loved boats and hoes. And she still like got over it and let him live with her. She's a
Gangster.
She's a gangster.
Gangster.
I don't think I could do it. I think I look at her and go, I wish I could be more like you. You
I
know?
think we all say that.
Yeah. So I'm cool with whoever wins this, honestly. Who's yours, Easton?
Number 1, Shannon Bedore versus 4, Kyle Richards.
Damn, Shannon Bedore coming through.
coming
She's still sitting
through.
pretty.
I'm kind of rooting for her right now, too.
I think everyone is.
Shannon, because she knows her real life. Shannon, she never hides from her
She
life
shows
situation.
her real life.
Oh, what did I say?
Knows. But
She
don't worry,
shows.
I read just as bad. It's like a game of popcorn. Do not ask me to read aloud. I suddenly
She knows
forget.
and shows her real life. She never hides from her life situations like other women do. Shannon, she's overcome a lot of turmoil and still stays funny. Shannon, she's endured so much and did with grace. Shannon, she had a great season last year. I do agree with that. With all the bullshit she was getting thrown at her, for her to keep going and keep her head.
She went out on a high.
She did. All right. Kyle is an OG and has a heart of gold. What she is for Teddy is amazing. Agreed. Kyle, because she is super consistent season after season. Kyle, because she is the most authentic housewife of all time. Kyle, because her personality and character are fun to watch.
I agree. She doesn't, she shares a lot, but I feel like there's so much juicy stuff that she keeps from people. And I think that's why so many people have enjoyed her. She's the longest running housewife from start to where she is now, 14 years on a show. And
That's wild.
I know. And I just find her to be very interesting. Like, even when she doesn't say a lot, her eyes kind of say everything.
There's more.
Right. Like, I was watching the reunion, and like people like Erika Jayne, she's got such a good poker face. Whereas Kyle, she's asked a question, and it's like, well, you really don't even need to answer because your face and
Told
your
it
eyes
all.
are telling us everything we
Yeah.
need to know.
Like the Mauricio thing.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Who won?
All right, so representing Lala in the finals will be Erika Jayne. She won with 65.7% of the
Damn.
votes over Dolores.
Damn.
And representing Easton will be Kyle Richards, who won with 62.9% of the votes over Shannon.
It's a walk-off.
It's a walk-off.
Why does it make me so happy that on the heels of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunions airing, that we have an Erika Jayne versus Kyle Richards? It was just so meant to be.
I feel like people, they knew what they were doing when they were voting.
I don't think so.
You don't?
Bravo fans are very authentic to how they feel, and it's one of those things where you can have an unpopular opinion and like no one is going to know that it's you.
Very true.
Yeah, love that.
I'm really excited for this one, though, but I really do hope I take the cake.
You're not going to.
Oh.
I asked people in the Instagram pod page who won the reunion, so you're definitely not going to.
Why, did Erika win it?
I'm not going to tell you yet. Okay, number 3, Erika Jayne versus number 4, Kyle Richards. Erika is representing Team Lala. Kyle is representing Team Easton. Erika, from glam to courtroom to back to filming, she remains standing in heels. Erika, the baddest, the most loyal, who doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks. This was tough because I love them both so much, but Kyle has held her diamond the longest. Kyle is an icon, but Erika has fought like hell to rebuild her life, and that kind of strength is unremarkable. Love a sassy queen like EJ. Kyle seems to think she can show or not show whatever she wants. EJ can't stand Kyle's double standards for literally everything. Every phase Erika has gone through, she has been so iconic, and she has been her authentic self no matter what. Erika, she's overcome so much and is still solid to the core. Love them both and so proud of these wonderful women. But Team Kyle. Oh, I loved that answer. Stated who she wants, but also
Giving grace.
giving credit where credit is due. Erika, because she has put all her private life out there, while Kyle, I feel, still censors and only allows us to see the image she wants us to see. Kyle, she has always been consistent. I don't know. I love her. Kyle, she is the longest running housewife and takes unnecessary shit from everyone like a pro. This is a good one. I feel like they both really show up and do the job. And they may do it differently, but we still tune in and watch them and enjoy it. So whether you sit and go, oh, I can't stand this housewife, or oh, I love this housewife.
They're still giving you something you want,
By the way,
even if you don't know it.
I'm obsessed with her. I hate her. One and the same.
Depends on the season,
It is
too.
literally the exact same feeling.
Yeah.
Because if you loved them all, you wouldn't watch. And if you hated them all, you wouldn't watch. You have to have the perfect combination. Polarizing television.
Yes.
So who's our winner? Lala or Easton?
And the winner of the first ever Give Them Lala Sweet-Lebrity 16 goes to Erika Jayne in Lala's region.
How, by what?
Yeah.
65% of the votes
Damn.
to 35 of Kyle Richards.
Yeah, I would say that
That's
was a
a pretty,
blowout.
that's a landslide. So
is that
Erika
considered a
Jayne?
blowout?
I would say so.
Yes.
She won by 30%.
Yeah, that's a blowout.
Yeah, that's a pretty big gap.
Erika Jayne.
I like being a winner.
It is exhausting being a single mom of 2 girls. I am tired all the time, but it is the best kind of tired, and I wouldn't change it for 1 second. So here's one way I deal now. I give my poor feet a little love, self-care, and a lot of style, obviously, with G-Defy sneakers. Gdefy sent me a pair to try. I am not sure I've taken them off since I got them. They are so comfortable and so supportive. This has to be what it feels like to walk on clouds. Gdefy's patented Verso Shock technology helps absorb shock and reduce stress on joints. They're perfect for chasing around kids, perfect for running errands, perfect for working out, perfect for laying in bed watching Housewives. Don't judge. You won't take them off either, I promise. It's style and comfort in one shoe, and there's a pair for everyone. So if you're wanting to treat your feet and yourself to a little something something to help deal with occasional foot pain and back pain, or maybe you just want to up your sneaker game, Gdefy is where it's at. And I'm going to hook you up with a deal too. Text Lala to 91888 for 30% off orders over $120. Or go to gdefy.com and use code Lala for 30% off orders over $120. That's gdefy.com and use code Lala or text Lala to 91888. You'll thank me later. Message and data rates may apply.
All right, let's deep dive into episodes 2 and 3 of the reunion because we haven't done that yet.
Okay.
Did you watch episode 2? Please tell me that you did.
I did. I watched 2 and 3.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Andy Cohen has a really, really tough job, and he's great at it. I don't know that I could handle, there's a reason why he is where he is, right? He does all of the reunions. He's done the Kardashian reunions. He's able to ask questions that are so uncomfortable. And I was like sitting there wondering, like, is he going to really kind of grill Kyle about this Morgan Wade relationship or lack of relationship? And I do feel, although I said that Kyle, I feel like she gives us a lot even when she's not saying much. And I do stand by that. However,
can I ask, is it because she shows like just a lot of emotion without saying a lot?
Well, I think that I go back, I don't just base it season by season. I kind of go back through all of it. And she really showed a tough time with her sister Kim back, I think it was like season 1 or 2. Like, she's really given us a lot. And I think as the show has grown and as she's kind of grown as a person, I do think she sits there and goes, what is worth talking about and what is not.
What is private and what is work?
Yeah, and it's a fine line, and I because she's so seasoned, 14 years of a show, that's no joke.
No,
that's
you know
your
what
whole
you're
life.
doing now.
You know what you're doing, you know what's important.
And you know what comes of what you're going to do.
The repercussions.
14 years of that will teach you.
Right. However, I do feel like she does get treated a bit differently than most housewives.
In what way?
In the way of, I think because she's the first, and yes, she has shown a lot. I've heard she's very easy to work with. I think because of all of those things, she definitely gets a little bit of leniency.
Like with production? Or just within all of
with
even
all of
the
it
girls,
and overall with the girls, I think they kind of tiptoe, and I know that that's why Garcelle was so annoyed. I know that feeling of going in to a season and feeling like you don't have your teammate, and I think she feels like she lost that with Sutton, and we're gonna go into that.
I do want to talk about that because
we're going to, but Andy, definitely grilled Kyle, and
it's his demeanor. And the way he he'll subtly drop his voice when that hard question is coming out. Have you noticed that?
You're so right.
He'll be like, "But do you really?" We have
seen a lot of things in the press, but it's so true. Like, it's wild that last season Morgan was kind of paraded around, and then this season there's no mention of even her name. I don't think that people understand the level of fandom. When you're filming, it's no big deal, right? When you're watching, it's no big deal. When you're in it and the floodgates are now open
to your life, and everyone is allowed to have an opinion and write and say whatever they want, it can become suffocating very, very quickly. So I understand that Morgan probably signed up at the beginning, but you say, I'm signing up for a show. What you don't realize is you're signing up for the rest of all, you're other women.
Signing up for the heat.
Yes. And other people's opinions about you, the little keyboard typers.
Yes.
And that compress. And that's one thing that Andy was like, well, she's a singer. She's in the press. Like, she shouldn't get anxiety about this. And it's like, Andy, very
It's in such a
different to
different
go
way.
up and perform something you've created.
Yeah.
And not get anxiety. You know what you're doing. You know the levels.
It's a different type
When you're
of
having
anxiety.
a conversation and being attacked and this and that, I'm sorry, your anxiety gets a bit different.
Totally. However, this is where they lost me, the whole Morgan and Kyle situation. They film, the press starts picking things up, and then they do the music video of them as lovers.
Yeah.
So you say you don't want the smoke,
But give the
while you're
people what they
asking for
want
the smoke.
is what she said, right? Kyle said we thought we might as well give the people what they want.
So you can't give the people what they want and then say, but don't talk about me on the show that created all of this.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
I do. It's a double standard on it, in all honesty. It's like a rock and a hard spot. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Well, it was one of few times that I agreed with Garcelle when she said she didn't sign up for it this season.
Like, you can't just give us a whole bunch and then strip us. Yeah. I don't know anymore.
I know a lot. Kyle texting PK. Dorit accused her of breaking girl code. I have to be honest, I'm really sick of that freaking word. Girl code, girl code. None of us
Yeah,
are
but there's
following
guy
it.
code.
None of us, like the whole women not supporting women. It's like we throw it around in such a way that too becomes suffocating. Like, you can't expect just because someone is another woman that you support them. I have been labeled that before, and it put a tremendous target on my back. Almost like I have to support you blindly. Because if I don't, it's that I don't support women. So I didn't love that being thrown around this season.
Yeah.
I think Erika Jayne actually has found the gray when it comes to like supporting women, but supporting women that you actually support, not
Yeah,
just because they're a woman.
women.
But I want to know what was actually said on the phone call between PK and Kyle. Because the whole reason why you and Dorit fell off was because of your relationship with PK. So why are we going back to the hotel room to call him?
Right.
What was said? I do not think her intentions were bad, though.
Kyle's?
Yeah.
I think she's so deeply in love with Mo that PK obviously is just a friend. Like,
I think so, too, but I don't think that Dorit thinks it's anything beyond friendship. It's
she's
just more of
mad
the, it's a
at
girl
the
code. It's like,
friend. Yeah, you chose PK over me. That's hard because once you know, how long were they together? 14 years.
I think it was like 14 years, yeah.
So 14 years, you brought this man into, yes, your friend group, but he also brought you into his. After 14 years, my significant other's friends are going to become my friends.
Let me tell you something, though. Dorit and Kyle were not in a good place. And so Dorit has stood 10 toes down on the fact that it has nothing to do with the fact that you reached out to PK. It has to do with the fact that you and I were not good at all and you reached out to PK. Like, I wish that you would have made it right with me, checked in on me, instead of when I go through the hardest time of my life.
You're on his side
You're
first.
on his side first. Like, I needed you. And Dorit has said, I'm holding on to that Amazon Live that you did, Kyle, where you said I exaggerated our friendship. And I can imagine that was extremely hurtful. I don't know whose side I'm on because it's so nuanced and I don't think anyone wins in this, but it's similar to, maybe not similar, how Brittany felt when I reached out to Jax about his sobriety and how betrayed she felt. And it was like, I can absolutely see your side and
Yes.
it makes all the sense, but it's such a fine line that you're walking, you literally can't win.
Yeah, because all of those are based on emotions, and emotions are personal, and you can't
I love
tell
when you say
someone
that.
how to feel. So that's my biggest thing is like when somebody comes up with a feeling, it's not up to me to make you feel the way I felt.
Yeah.
It's up to me now to understand why you felt that way and to understand it and to tell you that my intentions were not that.
I'm all about the intent behind something.
Yes, me and Mo were talking yesterday about pride and how sorry is like the
Not
most...
Mauricio.
No.
Let's be very clear.
No. Just a buddy of mine. And we were just talking about like honesty and all of that and being apologetic and saying sorry and just sitting behind everything you say. And even if you have to apologize about it, how much your words start to mean.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And, you know, the phone call to PK did fall on the time period of Dorit and PK's son being hospitalized. He had an injury that I don't want to misspeak. I remember Dorit opened up to me about this when we did Watch What Happens Live together. I believe it was like staph infection. I mean, they were very worried about his life. So she also said that was another reason.
That Kyle was reaching out to PK?
Yeah, she was like, it was kind of just
like for the family?
Like a very blanketed phone call of like a check-in. This is what's going on in Oceanside. I hope everything's okay. I did love when Jennifer Tilly came out and she's like eating on the couch.
Her
I love
and
the way that
Kathy
she talks.
Hilton.
The best.
They really, and I like how Kathy is just a friend of just living the life.
How she was laughing hysterically at like Kyle's maybe I'm a lesbian, maybe I'm not a lesbian journey. And Kyle's like, get it out.
Serious.
Get it out.
But who knows what has been said behind closed doors with
No.
them that Kathy is just like having to just...
I love Kathy Hilton. She's the comedic relief that we need. And same with Jennifer Tilly. And these are women who literally have access to anything and everything, but they act like mom.
Yeah,
Like
just aloof.
a bit clueless.
That's why they're great.
I tell mom all the time, I'm like, you are Kathy Hilton, except you're not rich. Like at all.
But I like Tilly because she just speaks and
She's
even
like,
just
I have
apologetic
a safety
right
deposit
there.
vault. It's like, hold on, I've heard of a safety deposit box. You got a vault?
Vault? How much
What
is that
I
a
would
month?
give to see that. They don't even do safety deposit boxes anymore. Like, what are you keeping up in that vault?
A lot of bags.
How many trendy diets have you tried? It's hard to keep track of all of them. I mean, there's keto, paleo, even intermittent fasting. And I know dieting success is difficult when it comes to keeping the weight off. Plus, it's believed that the more you yo-yo diet, the more stubborn your fat gets. And then you're totally screwed. And sometimes it has nothing to do with willpower. You could have the best willpower in the world and still not get the results you want because of genetics. And there's nothing we can do about our genetics. We come like we are. But the doctors at Sono Bello can help determine if your body's problem areas could be genetic. Wherever you have stubborn, diet-resistant fat and inches, Sono Bello's micro-laser fat removal technology can help remove it for good in one comfortable visit. Those stubborn inches around your tummy could be gone. Muffin tops, side fat, gone. Even saggy, loose skin, gone permanently. All that's left are the beautiful natural curves you've been hoping to get. Warm weather is almost here, so now is the perfect time to visit Sono Bello and get your goal body in time for swimsuit season. Micro laser fat removal is the permanent solution, and Sono Bello doctors are the experts. Schedule your free consultation now, and you'll get their best offer of the season. sonobello.com/Lala. That's sonobello.com/Lala. Individual results vary. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any condition or disease.
Let's, before we move on to part 3, because it did carry into part 3, Dorit making the comment about Sutton not living like the Queen of Sheba. You live on a main
fucking main road.
We drive past
I
Sutton's
drive by
house.
Sutton's house constantly, and never once would I want to pull in or out of that fucking driveway.
She is in Bel Air.
Beautiful home. I'm not going to say
We're not
it's
going to say the road. Very beautiful home. This road, lots and lots of traffic of going from one side of the hill to the other.
Yes.
It is very intense.
There's like 5 main roads that kind of go that through the valley and stuff. She's just on one of them. There's just 5 roads that are constantly packed.
But let me
with
tell
traffic,
you something.
and she's on one.
Let me tell you though. It is prime real estate.
It's
if you don't
beautiful.
have a regular old job where you have to leave between the hours of
8 and 10.
8 and 10.
Get home between 5 and 7.
No, but like her day is probably very different than someone who has to make that commute. So who cares? What I love about that house is that it gives you the hubbub, which I'm obsessed with. I talk about this all the time, that I love this house because I like being in the hubbub. But with Sutton's house, and I'm sure her house is between $10 and $15 million, maybe more.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm not going to say it's not.
But she's got the hubbub with the seclusion at the same time.
She does, but you like the hubbub, but
You don't?
No, I do, but Sutton's room, I can literally look up into it from the street. I was watching the show and I was like, that is literally where I was looking at her doing her makeup.
Okay.
And that is where I'm like, you are too close to a main road for who you are, in my opinion. Like, I'm not kidding you.
Just get
I was
some
driving by.
pull-downs,
There
get some
was
drapes. I mean, for a while, I couldn't
they
take
could
a
have been
shower.
filming because there were trucks and all of that. And I was like, oh, no way. And I looked up and there was lights and I just saw her doing like makeup because I was stopped
how
in
fun.
traffic
You got an IRL makeup tutorial.
for about 15 minutes, stuck in traffic
Stuck
right
in
outside of her
traffic.
fucking house.
I don't know.
Apologies for the F word.
What's his name? Andy Cohen was like, you're giving her crap for living on a main road in Bel Air? I'd take it. How big of me. Part 3. Bose stole the show.
She stole the season, I think.
She was fantastic.
She cannot be fucked with.
Yeah.
Like, anybody who goes toes with her, they
would
all
never.
just say, they are all like, no, you're right, I do need to take accountability. And it's because that woman was at Apple and Netflix, and because of her status, I feel like people are like, God damn.
So it was like, you were yelling. I did not
Yeah.
yell. And she didn't yell.
Goes, you came in very strong.
I didn't-
I am strong.
Oh, the line
That's when I
of
was like,
all the seasons ever to exist of Housewives.
And I will say, I love how, in my opinion,
Okay.
I love how Bose's confidence has rubbed off onto Reed.
So I want to read this because I actually found this to be a really, really interesting take. First, let's discuss Garcelle, but on the heels of Bose. So Garcelle was very strange the entire reunion, okay? And the comment about no one has smiled at me
Can't
since we
remember-
got here.
Can't remember who said it, but she was like, have you smiled at anyone? And I want to either say it was Erika or Dorit. But somebody said, like, she was like, nobody smiled at me this whole time. And somebody goes, well, have you been smiling at anybody?
Not at all. She
And-
was actually mean mugging the whole time, and I love a mean mug.
but with answers.
But also, like, every single person on the couch was mean mugging. Reunion day is the most intense day of the entire season.
And you can tell with them pulling up at the crack of dawn and Garcelle walking out after not wanting the pictures to pitch black.
it's a long day.
It is
it's a
day.
long day.
Yes. And I'm
Like,
saying
we're
this on
talking,
the of you.
We're talking 12 hours at times.
Mm-hmm.
From the time you wake up and get the day popping to the time you roll home, you have been exhausted with calls from production, get glam, you can't have water yet, you can't take a pee break, we're on tight schedule.
To sit on a couch and to look proper the whole time
And
while
rip each
still
other's heads
listening.
off.
Yes, while listening, while thinking, that never happened. I remember it this, while still having to remember. I will tell you, podcasts.
Okay, so someone said,
No, like I just can't believe how you guys get through them. I really don't. Mentally draining.
So I asked the IG world, I asked the podcast page, who was the star of the reunion? A lot of people said Dorit. A lot of people said Erika Jayne. A lot of people said Bose, right? I think Bose was the star. Literally just based on that.
I could see how people, honestly, Erika Jayne obviously was great. I don't think she stole it. Even I love her, but I thought either Bose or Dorit. I thought Dorit was great. I can see
Dorit
how
was
people would pick Dorit because of how she's standing up for herself. And like I said, I feel like Bose is giving her that.
Well, let me tell you what this person's take was. This person said Bose, and Garcelle hated it, and that's why she threw her tantrum, everything about her. I did not even think about that.
No.
I felt like for the first time ever, she was looking at Bose as a newcomer. And she was very adamant about holding people accountable, including Dorit. She said, Dorit, you were intentional about making that comment about Sutton's drinking. She was calling it all out as she saw it. And remember, like you said, she's worked in rooms, Netflix.
Yes.
You go into those rooms, you have to keep a logical head. And I have to imagine that they're very male driven in those rooms. So you have to be on your game, because just the fact that you're a woman, especially a woman of color in those rooms, you've got to be on your shit. And she was so great.
She said, I don't yell. And right when she said that, I was like, and I know fucking why. Because you've been in rooms, even when people are yelling at you, you kept your cool, because that's what gets to people.
Well, I can imagine, just as a woman, people, you raise your voice. Oh, she's emotional. Is she on her period?
Yes.
Like, so I take what Bose says, and it's Bible. It is gold.
No, it is.
Right. But I found that to be an interesting take, that Garcelle hated that the newcomer may have been the one to kind of shine. And that's a tough pill to swallow. I don't care for
anybody who has been on that show for an extended period of time.
I definitely did feel bad for Sutton because Garcelle did not defend her in any of the moments. And I get it. She was holding on to the fact that she wasn't her ride or die when Garcelle felt she needed it the most.
At the very end.
At the very end. And in a way, like, you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of Garcelle's, and I don't know that I don't think she added anything to Real Housewives, but I don't think she was in the wrong for talking about Morgan Wade. I just don't.
No.
You brought her on the show. She's fair game now. This is what it is. You don't get to bring someone in and then change the rules when it doesn't fit for you any
I wish somebody
longer.
else would have piggybacked off of her and Andy on that.
Garcelle felt abandoned, and I know that feeling to my core, and you want to sob and run away, and you want to call everyone assholes just like she did, and she did run away, and I felt for her in that moment. I feel for Sutton, because I think that she's someone who wants to fit in with this group so badly, and she wants them to like her. And I think the only reason, as vile as the comment was about her wallet being bigger than Dorit's, the only reason, that was someone who was so insecure and she was backed in a corner, and the only thing she had, the only card she had to play
Was money.
Was the money card. So it was vile and disgusting and low, but I can take a moment and say, you know what, I'm going to give you grace, because you have felt like you're on an island by yourself and you had to attack in some way. And that was the only card you knew how to play.
Yeah, you only had one. You only had one thing left in your bag to play, and that was the card.
Yeah. Portia, when they get into the conversation where Kathy Hilton was laughing.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was so sweet when Kyle talked about how her youngest, Portia, who is like 16, she's a year and a half away from going to college, how she said, there is nothing that you could ever do to make us not love you. And Andy goes, that's what my dad said to me when I came out. She goes, let's be clear, I wasn't coming out. And he's like, no, I'm just saying, like, there's nothing more that you want. I think Kyle, they could have shared that moment, but she was like, hold on.
Yeah,
I know
like,
the press so well. I know the headlines so well. Like, Kyle Richards comes out, and Portia, her daughter, says they'll love her no matter what.
Yeah, just a hand grab.
Yeah.
Clickbait. That's what they're looking for.
Just the clickbait. But I thought that the very end was great. I love Dorit saying that's very unprofessional. Let's remember, you guys, this is real life. But at the same time, we're filming a fucking reality show. This is real life, but it's also my job.
Oh, no, sorry.
It's also my job. There's production here. There's call times given. Yes, they're getting glam. Because
you're taking people's time.
Yes, there's millions of people watching. So the way that went down, like Kyle said, she was like, what Garcelle went through was child's play.
I kind of agree.
It
And for her
was.
to say, and I hope we get a reunion photo. She was the one who brought it up, and then she's the one who dips out. How
And that's
funny.
why I stand by the fact that she left the reunion. It had nothing to do with her kids. She was not ready for the very little smoke that came her way. It was basically nothing.
No, it was nothing at
When
all. I
you-
think she just maybe all she needed was somebody to just back
needed
her
a
up,
friend.
and that was it. And I feel like the other thing that crushed her, and she would have gotten a photo, I think, and in my opinion, Sutton should have given Garcelle grace for going to.
She wants people to like her. She wants people to like her.
I know, but
and
for
that
her to go
sometimes
to
means
Augusta to meet her mom, that's a big surprise. That
and go
surprise,
against RHOBH to try and put her in check for her friend.
like those are the things that I'm surprised with, and I barely watched a lot of it.
Yeah.
I watched something, but when that was asked, I was like, that was pretty, in my opinion, shitty on Sutton's part to have her go to something so close to you that you are going to mourn as well as rebuild yourself.
Yeah,
And she goes and takes on your mom.
right.
In my opinion, Garcelle deserves some sort of grace on that last question from Sutton.
So I will say this off of what
And
you
I think
just said.
that's why she was like, fuck this. I don't care for a photo.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. And even though I may not be a fan of Garcelle's in the sense of her being on reality TV, and no, the smoke was not as intense as she made it out to be in leaving. It was unprofessional. But I will say, I think Garcelle is a fabulous mother. I think she's extremely talented. I think she's a great friend. And I just think that she does not thrive in this type of environment. It takes a lot out of you. The trolls are intense. The group of women are intense. I think had she stayed, she would have gotten a lot of people checking in on her. It's actually, it's sad the way that ended.
Yeah, but it's easy to look back on it now and think that.
Yeah.
It's
It's always hindsight, baby. Mm-hmm. Hindsight has the greatest vision.
Hindsight is that 2020.
Some say it's 2020. I love it. Thank you guys for listening to a bonus episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. We love you. A regular old episode is going to air Wednesdays, and then we'll catch you again for another boner next week. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Did I get all three? I'm getting really good at that.